This is episode 412 of The Amy Ahlers Show. Show notes can be found at amyahlershow.com/412. The Amy Ahlers Show is especially for powerful women that are ready to stop being so darn hard on themselves and end the cycle of burnout or feeling like a fraud so you can rise into a leader that we can believe in. And today we are honoring one of the greatest women leaders of all time, the notorious RBG. As she said, women belong in all the rooms where decisions are being made. So the notorious RBG, Ruth Bader Ginsburg, just ended her time here on planet Earth last week. And I know that, like many of you, I honestly sobbed when I heard the news because her legacy is something to behold, isn't it? The incredible gifts that this woman has given during her lifetime is unparalleled. It's really remarkable, and she will be so deeply missed. I was saying to one of my friends that I feel so happy for her that she was able to release her cancer-ridden, frail body, even though she was such a badass doing push-ups, but to release her body and her time here in her 80s and be able to do that on a high, holy day in the Jewish tradition was so incredible. And yet the timing for the rest of us remaining here on planet Earth has been devastating, being at such a time of such divisiveness in this country. It is really terrifying to think of her seat being replaced on the Supreme Court during a time so close to the election when the primaries have already started and when that precedent was set back in 2016 during February when the election was almost 10 months away by the Republicans. And there's such hypocrisy happening right now with Republicans going back on their word, saying that the precedent has been set. And if in 2020 there is a seat that becomes open when the primaries have started, that we will not do a vote. And it looks like we are barreling towards a vote now. So I'm going to give you some inspired action steps to take on this episode today. And again, the show notes can be found at amyahlershow.com/412, where you will have links out to everything that I am talking about. But before I go into that, I just wanted to really celebrate RBG and what she has done for this country. Here's a short list of some of the momentous rights that RBG secured for us as women. She helped us have the right to sign a mortgage without a man. Can you imagine? It wasn't that long ago, ladies, that we had to have a man co-sign in order to buy a home. And the right to have a bank account without a male co-signer. Isn't that incredible? The right to have a job without being discriminated based on gender. The right for women to be pregnant and have kids and work. She helped us secure that right. The right to not be abused or killed by your husband. That wasn't legal until 1976. Isn't that unbelievable? The right to a pension equal to male counterparts. The right for men to receive widowers' Social Security benefits. Yes, indeed. RBG helped us secure these rights. And I love learning even more about the history of RBG, and I highly encourage you to watch the Netflix documentary RBG, where it talks about her, first of all, the love of her life, her incredible husband, and the work that she did with him, and what a wonderful supporter of her that she was. We should all be so lucky to have a partner like her husband, whether you're with a man or a woman or someone who's non-binary. May we all just be supported, deeply supported in our work the way that her husband supported her. I love that example. And to know all of the discrimination she faced in her own lifetime, the ways that she rose to become the Supreme Court justice. One of only 4, by the way, that have ever been women out of 114 justices. That's just 3%, y'all, in the history of the Supreme Court that have been women. 97% of Supreme Court justices have been men. And given that they are lifetime appointee, we can see how important it is to really have people of all different genders, all different colors, all different backgrounds, all different sexual orientations. We need this representation on the Supreme Court. As I said, I love her quote that women belong in all the rooms where the decisions are being made. And I believe people of color belong in those rooms. People that are LGBTQ plus belong in those rooms. People that are different bodied belong in those rooms. People that are from different backgrounds and cultures belong in those rooms. Representation matters. And so what RBG has done has set that precedent for us to have more and more representation. I always love when she says, the Supreme Court will be right when it has 9 women sitting on it. Because, of course, it has been that way for such a long time in the Supreme Court when it comes to men. So let us rejoice that RBG was here on this planet. Let us celebrate her legacy and all of the rights that she secured for women like me, women like you, and the amazing men that are listening, for all the women in your life, the things that she did. And let us honor her legacy by continuing to dissent when we need to dissent, by continuing to stand up for what is right around sexism, around racism, and around all of the things, so that all marginalized groups and oppressed groups can finally feel celebrated and welcome and like they belong here in the United States of America. So here is a short list of some of the things that you can do. And again, you can find all of these at amyailershow.com/412. So the first thing is sign the moveon.org petition to not fill her seat until after the election. I know this is a long shot at this point, but go ahead and sign it. Over 1 million people have. Join me in signing that. Contact senators that are most likely to block a confirmation. We already have 2 senators that have stepped forward to say they will not go ahead and confirm until the election. We need more, more dissenters. Contact Mitt Romney, contact Charles Grassley of Iowa, contact Cory Gardner of Colorado. Feel free to also contact some of these Republican senators that spoke out saying, yes, of course, if this happens in 2020, we will do this. Go ahead and contact their offices as well. Senators like Ted Cruz, Lindsey Graham, and there is a complete list of senators who said they would block voting in a Supreme Court justice in an election year. There's a link out to that article, and you can pick and choose who you would like to contact. I also recommend donating or volunteering for organizations that are working to replace Republican senators, such as Flip the Senate or Swing Left. Donate and become a member of ACLU, the American Civil Liberties Union. They are doing incredible work. RBG was very involved with this organization. And help organizations like Families Belong Together fight for immigrant rights. And make sure to follow me on Instagram and Facebook. I'm at Amy Ahlers Coach on both Instagram and Facebook, as I'm working with a local group here in the San Francisco Bay Area to plan a vigil for those in ICE custody, especially hearing about the whistleblower who spoke of hysterectomies being performed without women's permission. I can barely say the words because it's so disturbing to me, as well as, children dying in ICE custody. So definitely follow me on that, because I'm going to be working with that Families Belong Together organization and planning a vigil, something local and possibly also something virtual as well. Finally, I just want to say, I know it is so easy to fall into deep despair and exasperated rage about all that is going on in our sweet world. I am with you. Yesterday was a day where I could barely function because I just feel so deeply upset. If you're an empath like me, I have extreme empathy and compassion, which can sometimes mean that it takes me out. And I've been working really hard to observe instead of absorb, which is easier said than done. But what I know to be true is that we have to be gentle with ourselves. We need to rest, and we need to take inspired actions daily so that you can really know that you are a part of the solution, and then turn your attention to what brings you joy so you can refuel, because we need you. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of The Amy Ahlers Show. In a couple weeks, on October 7th, we'll be joined by Edward Vilga talking about the yoga of money, a completely different topic. You're going to love Edward. He's so wonderful and he cracks me up. So stay tuned. And in the meantime, keep enjoying the messiness and the magic of life. And the biggest compliment you can give me is to share the Amy Ahlers Show with other powerful women and to subscribe, rate, and review on Apple. Much love, everyone. Take